Good evening. Thank you, SoCal with 2Old4Forza with the next track guide for TNT 38. And we are going to be at Catalunya. This was one of the tracks that we did a lot of laps on testing the tune that we're using. But this will be the first time I'm really taking this car out with the wheel. So yeah, still on the wheel. We're still in the month of May. Still have the new garden challenge. I'll probably have the wheel hooked up here for another week. So I'm going to see how well I do here. I think just in a couple of the initial laps I've run, I'm struggling a little bit here compared to Bathurst. And I think Bathurst, despite how difficult the top of the mountain can be and how narrow it can be with the walls on both sides, it was more of a flowing track than Catalunya is. Catalunya has some flowing elements, but there's quite a bit more technical turns that I'm kind of struggling a little bit with the gas and brake. But what I'll do is I'm just going to go into test drive mode. We'll do a slow lap around. I'll kind of talk about where I'm braking at, kind of what I'm experiencing with the wheel and pedals, what you guys may run into, and then at that point, do another mock race and see how badly I am at the wheel. So anyhow, coming down the front stretch, you're going to be all the way up in fifth gear. Obviously, left side, setting up for turn 1, 2 complex. Again, what I do to correlate with the braking line is it seems to line up pretty well, and it is this. And the funny thing is now, because I'm on the wheel, I can't like do the little thumbstick look at the camera over here, can I? No, it won't let me do it. But you see that the two yellow lights there on the left side? That, if you've got a good run down the front straight, that's also a good kind of, static trackside, indicator of where to brake for turn 1. If you can't see the braking line, look for that light. I would say in your practice, even if you're hot lapping, just kind of correlate where am I braking in relation to where that light is, because then that gives you that extra reference point in the race if you cannot see the braking line if you use it. So heavy braking here. Down to turn 1. I've been taking this in third, and it is a combo set of corners. There's one of the other things, and I know this is one I wish I had archived the video I did for Catalunya and the Porsche. So hopefully I won't forget everything I talked about there. But Catalunya has many different styles of curbs, and you need to pay attention to what curbs are in what corner. That's going to tell you what you're going to be able to get away with. So for the most part, if there's any curbing that's raised or ridged, raised or raised ridged, you want to be careful crossing over that, especially if you're trying to get back on the throttle as you're crossing back and forth over those curbs. It can unsettle the car. So if you can see here for turn 1, the curb's a little bit raised on the inside, and it kind of does angle, so it's a little higher on the opposite side, on the full inside there, compared to the edge that's close to the track. So can you cross over it and do kind of straight line this? Yes, but be very careful. If you're on full throttle here as you're crossing back over and you still have steering in the car, it might unsettle the back end, spin the rear tires, and now you're starting to get into a tank slapper, may wind off on the right side here at the tire barrier. So I would say you can get a little on those curbings, but try not to cross over if you can help it. Staying in third, coming around through here again, you can get on this curb a little bit. Again, it's similar kind of deal. It's raised. This one's not as sharp of a turn, so you may not even use much or any of the curbing. Now the F1 guys, when they exit, they're coming all the way out. I think they come all the way out to the right side here because they've got like crap tons of downforce and can be this far to the inside for the next corner, and then just kind of let the momentum carry them out wide on exit. Even though we're max downforce, we still have to deal with a bit of understeer. So I would say when you exit it, try to be about half track as you're rolling back into the throttle. I'm still in third at this point. and just starting to, again, arc in for the curve here. Now, I don't have a definitive shift point, but what I'm looking for as I'm kind of balancing the car in, I may have to let off the throttle, but it's that other, you can see the yellow course condition light there on the right side, just beneath the timer. I kind of use that as a reference of when I'm going to start shifting, when I shift up to fourth. Usually, sometimes I think I can get away with it right when I see it. Sometimes I wait till just I'm about to pass it, then I'll put it in fourth. And then just let the car wind itself out. And you can use all the way out. You can straddle the white line here and not risk time penalty. And this curbing here, again, second type of curbing. It's relatively flat, but it's ridged. A couple test laps I've done, if you do get your left side tires on this, it's really not going to hurt you. At least for the setup I'm running, I had no problems if I was out here getting on this curbing, and then I can just slowly bring it back across. So I'm winding out in fourth gear up through here. So for this next turn for the hairpin, I do differ from the braking line a bit. The braking line will want you to do more of a traditional kind of straight threshold braking and then let off the brakes and turn in for the corner. This is another one, you've heard me reference this before. I tend to diamond this one a little bit where instead of threshold braking straight parallel with the left side of the track, I'm actually going to angle the car and point it a little more towards the inside curbing. And then with the intention of releasing the curbing kind of when I get to the apex. It's just something I've learned to do. I think it's probably because it's the move I would do to pass AI most of the time, so it's just kind of stuck. Can you do it against human opponents? Yes, but it can be a little bit of a dive bomb, and they need to know that you're there. Because certainly you stick your nose in and they're not expecting it, they're going to turn across you, and either you're going to spin them out inadvertently or they're going to spin you out. So again, I'll be braking here. I'll be in fourth braking, and when I release the brakes, I'll drop it down to third. This is one of those, you could do it. You can go all the way down to second if you want. I like third a little bit better. I think it gives me a little bit, better. The car's not as, it's not on its toes as much. The back end's not as nervous. The exit of this corner, and this is where I'm still trying to figure out, brake and pedal feel. This is one of three corners at Catalunya where the exit of the corner is cresting over a hill, and you just want to make sure that you're not going so hard back into the throttle that as you kind of crest that and the weight you lose a little bit of weight in the rear end, and you still have steering in the car, that you don't spin the rear tires and spin the back end out. And I've been a little ginger, rolling back into the throttle through here. Usually third gear, roll back in, roll back in, roll back in. To play around with where you think you can get to full throttle. I'll leave it in third down through here. I don't think there's any need to go up to fourth. The braking for this next hairpin, I've been using the TV tower guy there. Wave high to the car. Yep, I see you. You see me too. I use that kind of as an additional reference point for braking for this hairpin. So it usually kind of lines up where as that's kind of going out of vision, that's when I'm getting on the brakes for this hairpin here. Second gear turn. This one I do, well, we'll see what I do in the race, but I think I tend to take this one a little more traditionally, where I'm going to threshold brake straight wide, and then as I let off the brakes, then bring it around and look for a late apex. Back up to second gear. We'll go back up to third, and probably even get up to fourth. I don't really do an apex here. I just kind of keep it straight so I can be nice and straight and lined up for this next corner here. So braking, I'm usually trying to brake right about where this curving begins. Give yourself a little margin for error, because that curving, if you look at it, third type of curving, where now it's kind of that ridged blocks, as it were. That one I try to stay off of it, especially if you're getting ready to throw the car in left, you're going to throw a lot of weight on the right side of the car, and I give yourself some room so that you're not risking putting that weight on the right side of the car, especially the right rear, while you're trying to turn in and rumbling on those curbs. It might unsettle the car. Who knows? We'll see if it happens to me during the race. But fourth gear here, braking down to third. And probably turning in, I think when I talked about this last time, I think my turn-in point is just as the left side red and white curbing is going out of view. I think the braking line is a pretty good guide here. But going in through third gear through here, again, if you look at this curbing on the left side, it's nice and flat. So if need be, you can use a bit of this curbing, look to late apex. So you can kind of go straight up, kind of cut across to the late apex of this corner here. This curbing, angled. It's kind of like turn one, where it's kind of angles up towards the right there. You can ride this curbing a little bit. Just be careful getting your tires on the opposite side, not only because it'll dirty the lap, but again, then as you transition back across, you're trying to be on full throttle at this point. It can upset the car and send the back end out when you really don't want it to. So heading up the hill here, still in third. This is one I'm still trying to figure out what the best way through is. This is a rhythm turn, or at least where I say rhythm, there's very little, at least how I've been taking it as I've been learning it with the wheel, not really braking at all. And I'm leaving in third. I'm not shifting to fourth until I'm on the back straight here. But what I've been doing initially is I get to about where this curbing ends, and it's kind of in between where this left side curbing ends and where the yellow course condition light there is about where I think I'm letting off, and it's really I'm just kind of letting off and turning in. And what I've noticed in doing that, because I'm coming all the way off the throttle, the back end is going to want to step out on entry until about you get to the apex. And when you get to the apex and you're kind of confident that you've got the car into the turn, you can start to roll back into the throttle. Again, this is turn number 2 also, not as heinous as the other one, where your exit, you're kind of cresting the hill. So the back end might get a little light, but I think with the speed we're running, unless you completely get it wrong in entry, you should be able to roll back into the throttle as you kind of crest that hill on exit. So I'm in third gear here, up to fourth. I'm not sure if I get up to fifth on this straight or not. Coming into the next hairpin, for me, braking is, I am kind of watching the braking line, but it is somewhere about halfway between the stand on the, I guess the spotter stand or the corner worker stand there that's just halfway out of view on the left, and the signage gantry here heading into the Catalunya's hairpin here. So heavy braking here, down to second. And this is one I'm still struggling on exit, because at least for me with the wheel, if you're not running traction control, your tendency is going to be to try and get back to full throttle as quickly as possible. And every time I've tried to get back to full throttle in second gear before I fully exited the corner, I've spun the rear tires up and got into a little bit of a tank slapper, or spun out completely. So I'm still trying to figure this one out. But you might think as you roll back in, a short shift to third might help. If you don't want to try and wind second all the way out, because you'll be definitely up in third here. That tire barrier won't be there in the race, but you want to try and flip that. You can get on that curbing a little bit. It's another flat curbing. It's set up for here. I struggle on this corner with the wheel and pedals just because I don't have the brake feel. This is just a brush of the brakes just to get a little weight to the front end to turn in, and then then I'm just kind of then modulating with the throttle through here in third. This is the third and final corner that had that kind of the exit kind of is cresting a hill, though I think the first one is the hardest one. Apex is there. You can kind of see the additional curving on the inside. That's where they're kind of, I think, designating the, quote unquote apex of this curve is, or this curve is. Again, relatively flat on the inside curving. So if you do get it wrong, you get a little on it. It's not going to hurt you all that much. Still in third here. Braking for the final set of corners is usually right about at the end of this. Right about at the end of this curving is where I'm braking, heading into the final chicane. This is the other one I'm still trying to sort out gearing, and I think you guys will figure it out. What I've been tending to do is I'm leaving it in third through here, to brake, and to turn in, and this you can get it. Ideally, I'm trying to get a little bit of that curving, bring the car about halfway, or try and get it back over as soon as possible to set up for the final turn. For the final turn, then I'm braking right as I'm passing to the gantry, right before the curving starts here on the right side. This is where I'm downshifting to second. So I think ultimately first is too low for the final chicane. So I think this is just a feel question. If you want to drop it to second from the corner I just came out of, look back. There we go. Yeah, for that corner right behind us here, you can try going into second there, but then you won't. But then just make sure you're not downshifting here, because again, I think first is too low. So anyhow, downshift to second, and then into the pain chicane. It is, and again, at least in my experience here, eat as much curb as you dare. Again, you've got, back the car up here a little bit. The nice thing here is the curb is really sharp. You can, even though you're going to be kind of getting your left side tires a little bit on the backside edge of that curbing, you're really not on the throttle at all at this point. You're just, if at all, you're maybe just starting to roll back in to keep momentum going. First gear, there we go. You can eat a lot of curbing here, and usually I eat most. If I eat curbing, I eat most of it there. You can eat inside curving for the final corner. I tend not to, because if I can get through here as smoothly as possible, that'll just help, because we're now, from that first curving at this point on, it's all about trying to get back to full throttle to get back onto the front stretch. So on exit, I'll bring the car out. I'll stay off the curbing on the left side. Notice the ridges. That's not good. Upshift to third. At least for me, I tend to turn in. I'll still be full throttle. And what I've been doing initially, as I've been getting used to it, is maybe as you're getting about to the apex, I'm doing like a quick, I'm noticing the car is going to push a little bit out to the, out on exit. So usually I'm just kind of giving a quick off the throttle and rolling right back in, just to get a little weight, give the front tires a little grip to get the car through as smoothly as possible. That's what I've been doing. Sometimes if I get it absolutely right, I can take that flat. Your mileage may vary. But again, if you look at the curbing on the left side, I tend to stay, at least for me on the wheel, it's not too bad. I'm not getting a lot of force feedback on that. But again, I'm kind of jury-rigged through a drive hub, so I'm probably not getting all the feedback that you guys on the native wheels would. But that's kind of a lap of Catalunya. With the wheel here, we'll get into the race. This might be one I might be curious to go run some laps in the controller and just see how slow I am here, because I think because this course is a little bit more technical in nature for me, I'm finding this one harder to get into a rhythm on than at Bathurst. But enough talk, more racing. Finish the test drive. And my opponents today, we're going to run, my opponents today is starting up front will be Forza P2. They're going to be the jam cars. I should definitely be faster than them. early prototype racers in the next group, and then followed by Forza P1. I think I'm going to be getting past more than I'm going to be passing, but we'll find out. Race info start. We'll do 20 laps. I didn't time out if that would be a good half distance lap count, but we'll see the race timer at the end. I hate waiting. Oh, actually, while I'm waiting, I run with the. So again, I've got my Xbox 360 Fanatec wheel hooked up through a drive hub, hooked up to one controller, wired into the Xbox One. Then I've got my headset, wired headset hooked up to a second controller that's then also wired into the Xbox. Need to make sure I play around with the headset controller so it doesn't decide to power off, mid-race. But if it does, I'll pause real quick and turn it back on, and that's what's happening. Wheel. Oh, it's a little more. It's a little more loose than I wanted it. Here is better earlier. That's a little better. thing. I'm going to pause here saying I think my foot pedals are maybe out of position here. Still trying to figure that out. Maybe I'll try that in fourth next time and see if that settles the car down a little bit better. That might be the way to go. Try that for another couple of laps. Yeah, go by me, Mr. Peugeot. No, don't be a wuss. Go by me. Letting you by. Here you go. might be able to get away with that in third. If you're having problems with wheel spin in second out of that hairpin, try it in third. I just totally sucked with those last couple of turns. I felt the back end starting to step out because I drove poorly and crossed some curbs. I just kind of eased off the gas and waited for the car to kind of settle back in before rolling back into it. I think I'm turning in too early at this point. Now go by me. Jeez. Go by me. Doesn't mean then cut back in front of me into braking. Those Peugeots. Wow, I am. I think the car, the back end's a little bit more nervous in third than fourth. We'll pit at lap 10. I'll also get a read on tire usage and fuel. But at least early indications are, I think, front tire wear is a little more severe here than it was at Bathurst. That or I'm just horrible on with the front tires. Ooh. Ooh, that's a bit wide. At least for me, it looked like tire wear, front tire wear, kind of lined up with fuel. So quarter, almost a little over a quarter tire wear per 10 laps. Yeah, you'll be able to go a bit, I guess. I don't know how. We'll see. You know, I'm guessing the race is going to be close to 40 laps, but let's see what the race timer is here at the end of this. What? Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, that last cresting right hander, even in third, stab back on the throttle too quickly. Can't get the back tires to break loose. Probably turned in a little too early. I can get in the 139. Pushing down on the brake pedal, but they're just not grabbing as soon as I would want them to. Keep chipping away. It's here, there. Wait. Well, I was hoping I would catch some traffic. Might be the secret of that turn is you want to come off the throttle going in. You want to start rolling back into the throttle as you get into the apex, just to get some weight on the back tires. Whoops. That lap sucked. Okay, I got 5 laps to at least make one competitive pass. Yay, there we go. Yeah, it's a slow release of the throttle as you turn in. Wait. Help keep the back of the car settled. Give me that draft. I'm all focused. Come on, turn. Yeah, I have that same problem too. One left to go. No. Oh, let's see if we can get a top 10. Doubtful. Oh, that was bad. I don't know what I did there. Whether I missed the braking or... Yeah, stay off the inside curbing, crossing that hill, or it's gonna put the car sideways. But it does go sideways. Just get out of the throttle, get the car straight, and then start rolling back in. Yeah, this is definitely, at least for me, this was definitely more difficult than Bathurst was on the wheel and pedals. Just again, much tighter turns, slower corners, but that's what you guys will all be dealing with here. Race time about 34. All right, so the AI did it in 34 minutes, 35 minutes. There's 20 laps, so yeah. For the race, you're probably going to be looking around 40 laps, maybe a few more, depending on how fast you guys are compared to me. Because I will say I'm not quick here. But in any case, let's just go ahead. But that's Catalunya. Hopefully, there's a couple things that you've learned from watching me struggle. Hopefully, there's some valuable information for you guys. Anyhow, hope you guys have a great weekend and happy racing.